Hey, let's get into another interview brought to you by Prize Picks. Hey, support the show, man. Sign up for Prize Picks using the promo code Bootleg. So first of all, if you love sports like me, it's the best way to watch sports. You put a lineup together, you get to pick if someone's going to have more than or less than. It could be yards, it could be points, rebounds, assists, basketball, NFL, all that. One of my favorite times of the year. As a sports fan, if you use that promo code Bootleg, not only you support the podcast, support what we do, but you also spend $5 on a lineup, you get $50. That's right. You use $5, you get $50 in lineups on Prize Picks. Yes, NFL, NBA. Let's get it cracking, man. Let's get into this interview right now. Don't forget to follow me on that Prize Picks app too, at Bootleg Kev. Use the promo code Bootleg right now. Spend $5, get $50, and support the pod. Let's get into the episode. Bootleg Kev podcast, special guest returning. Damizza is here.
Dang, it's been like a year and...
It's been probably about a year.
A year. Well, thank you.
Welcome
and I
back.
appreciate you. I just want to say thank you. Because you have been not only a really cool supporter, but every time I call you and ask you for advice, you give me good ones. So
how is everything, man? I know you just had your Synergy conference for the second year in a row.
It was a lot of fun.
You know, it was outdoors, I saw.
Yeah, I kind of messed up with that when I fried everybody. Big
was it hot?
Mad at me. Yeah. Big pulls me aside right before it started, and he's like, hey, bro. Like, we're doing this outside. But it was cool. I mean, we had Harvey, we had Big Boy. Well, Exhibit came out.
I saw that.
And that was really cool to have, like...
he wasn't, like, advertised.
No, right? No. And, you know, Bobby D, God bless him, just brought him out of the blue.
Wow.
And it was really, really cool to have somebody that's not only a legacy artist, but has something current out. You know what I mean? To be able to talk to artists about everything from AI and marketing and branding. And that, you know, the deal with him and Connor and just what he was talking about, you know, about how it's a different kind of branding and to get his message out there was pretty cool.
Weren't you doing something with the Connor thing?
Yeah, but anyways. No,
you went to Ireland though, didn't you?
No,
you didn't. No,
I'm going to London though. I was involved in the early rollout of Greenback, but I only consulted them for a little while, and then when the Bone project was going to get delayed, we just said let's chill for a while, and then when you guys revisit the Bone thing, then I'll hop back in.
I feel like you're so knowledgeable in so many things on when it comes to just the news that you're delivering. What about the world right now has you the most worried? And what about the world right now has you the most optimistic?
What has me most optimistic first is the people. You know, the people are starting to wake up. You know, to see the young people getting involved and not just towing the party line.
That's,
you know,
yes.
That's what's scary. And the scary thing to me is loyalty to party and no facts to base it. You know,
blind loyalty to anything is scary.
Yeah. You know, I've never seen an administration push this hard to reverse like the Civil War.
Right.
You know, I mean, all of the race stuff and all of that. I mean, as hard as, and to talk about the music side of it, as hard as we worked in hip hop and the culture for acceptance on mass appeal. You know, I mean, just seeing that, right. You know, and with sitting and talking to my grandma about women's rights and all of that kind of stuff. You know, when we very first got to Louisiana, we pulled into the driveway and she said, let me out. And it was a dirt road. And I was like, it's a dirt road. What do you? And she was like, no, Bams drove the car up. And she sat there in a wheelchair and she goes, sweetheart, who would have thought little baby Ree would own all this land? When I left here, women couldn't own land. We were property.
Crazy.
And that really that's what you work so hard for. You know what I mean? So I can only imagine what she would think right now.
Right.
You know, with the reversing of the civil rights and just all of the, I mean, it's just, it's scary, man.
I think it's like, there's like 30 things, but to me, like the awakening of, I would say like the foreign control of our government from Israel is like finally like people are starting to like this Jennifer Welch chick. Do you know who that is?
No,
she's the blonde podcaster chick who interviewed Cory Booker and she took him to town. But she literally was like, if you take wake up Democratic Party, if you are mad because Zoran and AOC and Bernie have all this energy, maybe you're the problem. Like, wake up if you're taking AIPAC money, you're Benjamin. She said you're Benjamin Netanyahu's bitch, and we're not voting for you. And then I don't know if you saw, there was like a more of like a centrist Democrat guy. I forget where he's from. I think he was a senator, but he returned all his AIPAC money.
Yeah.
But I think there's that, which obviously goes into the fact that, you know, there has been a ethnic cleansing and genocide of an entire people, and it's continuing to happen. You know, this same country has, with our assistance, overthrown the Syrian government and put former ISIS operative as the president.
Well, and you look at Hamas. Like, if you look at Hamas and how it was funded, you know,
through proxies, through Israel, through Egypt, yes.
Well, and I mean, look, okay, let's go back to the Kennedy assassination.
Right.
Okay. Since then, there's been a very slow and deliberate takeover of American democracy.
100%.
And
it's been like a drip, like IV drip.
Yeah. And now we're at, what, 80% of the Senate and 80% of the Senate and the Congress supports Israel almost, if not more,
right,
than the United
States. Yeah,
and I mean, a lot of people even on the cabinet with dual citizenships, and
that's the shit that's wild to me. Is like,
yeah.
You got like a guy like, you know, Josh Shapiro, who wanted, obviously he's got presidential aspirations, and I'm like, buddy, you fucking served in the IDF. That's a foreign military. It's kind of interesting. Like, it's a conversation to have.
There's a lot of conflicts of interest.
Yes.
Let's just say
But I think there's that. And obviously, to me, like, the biggest, you know, just humanitarian thing that we've ever seen is, as long as I'm alive, at least, I obviously wasn't around in World War II. With what's happening in Gaza, the ceasefire obviously was not a real ceasefire. They killed 100 people in Gaza yesterday.
That was a play to get your hostages back.
And then there's that thing. Then there's the ICE thing. ICE is the most, you know, this big, beautiful bill, which was horseshit.
Well, I mean, and SNAP benefits. I don't know when this airs.
Well, I was going to say, then there's that. The SNAP benefits are about to come up, but it's like, you know, there's like this militarization of our country, of the surveillance state. You know, you get into Palantir, you get into Peter Thiel, and, you know.
Well, and we're sending red National Guard troops.
Yeah, people
to
from
blue states.
red states to, it is interesting.
It's a setup for a civil war.
Yes.
And you know, I heard someone say, I forgot where it was, but I saw them talking about white being the minority and how that scared so many people. And when Obama became president.
What's that great replacement theory bullshit?
Yeah. But anyways.
It's interesting, though, because then you have like, and like you said, there's people on both sides who have had to have been shaken up a little. And I think there was a lot of people on the left who sat the election out, voted green, or protest voted because they were tired of the same old shit, you know?
I switched my party. I was a Democrat for years and years.
My whole entire life?
And I went independent.
I'm independent.
I just 100%. Said I'm good from both of you.
And then you'll see people like, you're like, wait a minute. Marjorie Taylor Greene and I agree on a lot of stuff all of a sudden?
Well, and
like, what the fuck?
The thing that got me was you ran on a platform of Epstein and deep state, and yet the deep state is all standing right behind you when you get sworn in.
And it's like kind of like a new, it's like almost like, obviously when you got Marco Rubio and you got Stephen Miller and you got guys like that, and what's the fucking dude with the slick back hair that's balding that's always standing behind him like this? Fuck. Lutnick? Is it Lutnick?
Oh, yeah.
But then the new deep state, low key, is like these tech dudes. Like Peter Thiel is like,
but they're the same.
It's
all from the same
right.
80%.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
and a lot of those guys who donated to this new ballroom bunker bullshit were the same guys who were donating to Joe Biden.
But that's what I'm saying is people are starting to wake up to the fact that it's the same bird, same shit, different wing.
Yeah, I think that when, you know, and I obviously don't agree with Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens on everything, but I at least
Candace in fire right now.
She's cooking, but I can at least respect the fact that they have beliefs and morals that they don't budge on.
Well, you're not going to get that in media today. I mean, if you really look at it.
As opposed to, you know, somebody who's not with us anymore kind of felt like, you know, he was very much towing the line of whatever the administration would want.
True.
You know, and I'd be like, oh, this guy's just a shill. Like, you know, like.
Well, you start to realize how media has evolved into becoming the show.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what, 8 people, 10 people control 90%, 98%
well, yeah, the
of the media.
Ellisons.
Yeah. Fox, Murdoch.
Rupert Murdoch and
now Google and TikTok and Paramount.
It's a scary place, man. And it's just, it's like, it's an interesting thing too, because it's like, it's very, it feels like we're at the beginning of like whatever happens when Terminator is coming, or like a Demolition Man type movie. It feels like this is the ground floor of like our society turning into that really soon.
Well, you got to remember, corporations can only get so big. Do you know what I'm saying? We dumped $7 trillion during COVID into this machine, right?
Yeah.
And somehow
printed money.
Yeah, and somehow the next quarter they still went up.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't understand. Is like I mean, you know, this like during COVID, it was like there was not a housing crash, there was a housing boom.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is corporations can only get so big before there's only one other way to expand. And now that they're almost to the size of government, the only thing left to do is to take over government,
which they're doing.
And that's
they're
what's
so intertwined.
happening.
Yeah, all these corporate like
private funding of the military,
wild.
Like
wild. Crazy.
And did you see who that person was?
I did not. I didn't see that. I know it was anonymous.
Just look into it.
No, who was it?
It's I forgot his name, and I want to be correct.
Right.
I
saw that it was.
But look at him and the ties. It's the same kind of thing.
Jesus.
But what's nuts about that is it's a PR stunt, because $200 billion or $1 million is gonna pay maybe a 10th of our military for a week.
Yeah,
you know
I think we're about to really see because there's only so much of like artificial propping up of like the stock market and all of these things that you can do when people literally like are going to be without paychecks.
Well, look at the Caymans right now. The Caymans are imploding because they thought only all of these junk buys. Remember the AMC, GameStop, and all that stuff? Well, that stuff's coming home to roost. Like all these reverse repos and the weird stuff they were doing to hide the manipulation.
It's going to be a very interesting.
Well, the market with 36 trillion or 38
in debt.
In debt, it's unsustainable.
Yeah, and it's so crazy to me because like that was something that Trump ran on, where I was like, I mean, look, I think Elon's a fuckboy, but in theory, the idea of DOGE before the implementation of it, I'd like to point out, because they implemented it terribly and grossly. But the idea of DOGE, in theory, should be a bipartisan thing.
Yeah.
So then you got this fucking psychopath who is, probably a few. Yeah, he's Rain Man, whatever, and he's definitely a white fucking supremacist. With that being said, sure, go find government inefficiency, save money. I think a lot of the NGO shit is like, there. Yeah, you could look into that. But also, you could just do one big cut out of the Pentagon budget and do and then all of the shit that happened with DOGE ends up just getting flushed down the toilet with the big beautiful bill. So I'm like, wait a minute, what was the DOGE thing for?
Okay, so the rumor, I got a lot of little intelligence buddies.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And they're all saying that the whole thing about DOGE was a data thing. They wanted to get into every computer and every nook and cranny of the government to see what really they had. And what caused the big rift between Elon and the administration was, I'm over here launching off rockets and you guys got gravity manipulation and stuff like that. And then all of the top secret stuff, all of the data, all of that to funnel over to Palantir.
Palantir shit's crazy.
I mean, but think about this. You've had infinite funding for 100 years.
Right.
Think of some of the stuff that they
we
have.
Don't know about. Yeah.
That, I mean, the fossil fuel lobby, all of these different, the military industrial lobby that has kept a lot of this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I always tell people. I'm like, you guys don't understand, like, America, we don't have exports. We have culture, music, movies, sports.
And military.
And weapons.
Yeah.
And soybeans, I guess. What kind?
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
No, it's interesting, yeah, because with the DOGE thing, I was like, yeah, this in theory would make sense. And then they have the falling out. And I'm like, do we all forget that, like, the richest man on the planet told us that Donald Trump was in the Epstein files, and we just forgot because it was just like another wild Tuesday during this administration?
Well, and you know, it's funny because a lot of people are saying now, like, why didn't Obama or Biden release the Epstein files when they were in office if it was such a big deal? But it wasn't a big deal until Elon tweeted about it in the second term.
Well, I also think there is mutually assured compromising on both sides of the aisle.
Oh yeah.
If those files get released, there's going to be people on the right. There's going to be donors on the left. There's going to be it's a political tool now for the left, and they should lean into it. But
why are Democrats voting for it?
No, that's why that's why I'm like, okay, this is good. But like you said, it's almost like the cat's so far out of the bag. The interesting think about this: the day that the Epstein birthday book came out, what happened? Charlie Kirk died.
Oh, and did you see this morning what happened?
No.
Prince Andrew got kicked out of the royal family. Like you have to go get it. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking those files or something is going to drop soon because the royal family is very proactive.
Right.
So 2 days before that book dropped or whatever from the Guffrey, who unalived or didn't unalive, who said she wasn't
Virginia.
Yeah. 2 days before that, they announced that they were going to strip him of the royal titles. That was it. But today they announced
they killed her. By the way,
come on,
Jesus.
Diana all over again. But they said that that he's got to like move out of the entire royal family, like no premises, no nothing. We want nothing to do with you now. You became a private citizen.
Yeah, I just to me it's crazy because the Epstein shit is so spooky. And we're so like, what about now is out. Like this administration is so chaotic that there's just so much shit getting thrown at the wall that like, as crazy as the Epstein thing is, everyone's looking over here.
Yeah.
And it's like, you guys, let's start looking. There was the author who I think interviewed Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, Wolf. He
Who
might actually get it because now suing Melania.
That's a move because then discovery comes.
Yeah.
Because his whole thing was that Melania and Trump's first date was on Epstein's plane.
Yeah. Date.
Whatever that is. Yeah, it's spooky shit, man.
Well, and you hit it on the head though. Dead on the head. The levels or the pillars to the Epstein thing. I mean, you have former heads of countries, prime ministers. You have the British royal family.
Ghislaine Maxwell alone and her dad. If you just go jump into who her dad was. And then, there was the former prime minister of Israel, I think, was on the plane like 83 times. There's you've seen the pictures of him with his face covered up going into Epstein's apartment.
Wait, and I saw today one of the big media people or something, their kid is named Robert Maxwell something.
Oh, I doubt it.
I saw that this morning. And it was like, why is this person?
And why is she just like out of nowhere moved to a posh prison in Texas?
And Kash Patel saying, the Bureau of Prisons did that independently.
What a joke.
I mean, the whole Congress thing, like when Pam Bondi was up there with the personal attacks and no facts.
I just don't understand how you voted for them and you're not like, yo, I got rused.
Well, you look
because in theory, you saw Kash Patel going on podcasts, the last 3 years, and he's, yo, we're gonna get the Epstein files out. Like, I know where they are. Well, what happened there, you cross-eyed fuck?
Well, look at Donald Trump and how he talks, and then look at the base.
Yeah,
it matches. So as long as you are for a white America, we'll let all this other shit slide. I saw somebody literally be interviewed yesterday where they said, if Trump is in the Epstein files and guilty of this,
oh, that's great.
Would that still change your mind?
Did you see there was that UFC fighter who said he would take a bullet for Donald Trump, came out yesterday and was like, I no longer support.
I got duped.
It's wild times, man. Wild times. Hey, we got to stop the interview to tell you about our good folks. Odd Socks, man. Now, these are the Odd Socks basics, ladies and gentlemen. Now, when I tell you this is a product that every single day I'm alive for the last 5-6 years, I have used are these Odd Socks basics. Now, what Odd Socks is doing is they're kind of reinventing the sock game, if we're being honest, and the underwear game. You know, a lot of times you'll hit Walmart, you'll hit Target, you'll get some socks, you'll get some draws. They're affordable. They end up with holes in them. They don't really feel great. Not Odd Socks, ladies and gentlemen. These Odd Socks basics are the most comfortable socks I've ever had on my feet. Not only that, but they're super affordable. $14.99 for a 6-pack. That's it. Oddsocks.com. And if you don't believe me,
Sock check, fool.
sock check, fool. Wait, the X is on the other side. There we go. Ah! You see that? Sorry, you had to see those white legs. But it's so dope that, you know, I get to push a product that I use and that I love. So Odd Socks, they got the 6-pack of socks for $14.99 at oddsocks.com. The basics. This is the future of socks, the future of underwear, comfort and affordability. I'm talking about affordability without jeopardizing the quality, because they are the most comfortable socks you'll ever put on your feet, ladies and gents. And the et ceteras. Got to show love to the et ceteras. We like all the stripes on the flag. They're oddsocks.com, man. Much love to my brothers over there. Make sure you get some right now, oddsocks.com. Let's get back to the interview. I wanted to get your take. Obviously, I think there's a little bit of context being lost in the headline about, because two things can be true at the same time. Hip hop can be in a weird place in terms of, you know, hit records being out. But there's the headline that for the first time since 92, I think, there's not any rap records in the top 40 of the Billboard Hot 100.
Since Bismarcky?
To be fair, they had that recurrent rule change with the chart stuff. And so
I agree.
A lot of stuff came out that would probably still be in there.
100%.
But it is, I mean, it does strike an interesting conversation, like where the music industry is. And I don't even think, I think hip hop in general.
I don't think it's just hip hop.
I think it's great right now. But I'm talking about, you know, Clips and Freddie Gibbs.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, all the dope rap
Look,
shit.
that's why I said I think that it's the calm before the resurgence.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I think there's no mechanism right now that what radio was the mechanism that delivered the music to the masses.
Right.
The algorithm delivers it in a way to where it's not exciting.
And it's also like an individualized delivery.
Yeah.
It's not like...
And it's fragmented.
Right.
There's no cohesive thought. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no tastemakers. Even if you look at all the 5 elements, but if you look at like the DJ,
right?
You know, the DJ's role in the system has been diminished so much.
100%.
I mean, by the clubs and radio and mix shows and all of that kind
100%.
of stuff. So there's not really, and podcasts don't break records.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I think that within time here, and I hope sooner than later, there will become a hybrid of the podcast, the radio station, a way to deliver music better. And I think that's the point that we're missing right now.
Do you think there is a world in which artists, because I think it has to take a Taylor Swift or like a Drake or a Kendrick to truly say fuck you to Spotify? Do you think there's a world in which that current streaming system is broken and or can become more fair?
I think there is. I think you're right. It's going to take a coalition of artists, though.
Yeah, I feel like... I feel like somebody of that level has to kick it off for other people to follow.
Well, but Taylor is a product of the system. So that's not going to happen. The Drakes and the Kendricks and if instead of going at each other, they would go at the system. I think that our best bet with a Spotify is the military industrial complex thing that they did, the paying themselves the bonuses, and a few of the other stories that have come out that's tarnished Spotify.
Also, like the fact a lot of these companies hold stake of Spotify, which makes it's a conflict of interest like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah, big time. But that's also why I've been such a big supporter of like Coda, trying to find another way to compensate artists. Like, for instance, with the subscriber thing that they do, if you have a subscriber, you get $1 a month off that subscriber. Like,
which would make sense.
I mean, imagine if YouTube did that.
I mean, that's what like LaRussell always says. He likes to he treats those platforms as like advertising to his brand.
Dude, and he spends a grip on advertising.
But he was like, yo, if you stream my shit, like I get a check off it, that's fine. But it's more like just like a gateway into my brand and my ecosystem that hopefully you come and spend money in. But of course, there's not everybody has the work ethic that Russell has or the fan base. So it's like,
well, but he's also hit a ceiling.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Russ has hit a ceiling. A lot of them have hit. I mean, they're all hitting ceilings, you know, unless you cross that gate into the major world. That's what I mean about
it's almost like if you want a '1 record, no matter what, like it's damn near got to be what was that country bro?
Shabuzi?
No, the ginger fool who had the guitar and the fucking Oliver. Yeah, what was that song, bro?
I think I know who
he
you're
was
talking
number.
about,
So look, this dude just went viral on with this random ass song.
Did it go #1?
Oliver Anthony. It went #1. It's called Richmond, North of Richmond. This fucking
And it
guy.
stayed independent the whole way?
Yeah, Distro Kid. #1.
And no label at all.
No, he refused to sign.
Wow. So we finally got one.
He actually, the crazy shit is, he could have toured everywhere. I think it was either AEG or Live Nation were trying to give him a bag.
Wow.
And he was like, nah, I'm good. I just do the shit I want to do when I want to do it. I'm like, damn.
That makes me want to dig deeper, though.
Right.
Because there's...
Now, he had this record, and like, he has other big records. Like, he's got 3 million monthly listeners, but like, I mean, from that record to everything else, it's definitely...
But that's dope. I mean, if we got one, I mean, because I was of the thought that you would never see that happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's damn near impossible, to be honest. Like,
but I mean, I was always saying that it's damn near impossible in this viral world that we live in that something would not gain enough momentum to get out of the ecosystem and into the real world. You know what I mean?
It's a consumption
into
thing.
Space.
It's like, even if you have a record at radio, right? If you say, okay, the streaming is there, the TikToks are there, the concert tickets are there. Even if you're independent, you got to have the wherewithal to say, okay, well, if I really want to be like #1 on Billboard, you kind of need radio. Like that's, I always tell people radio should be the last step you worry about.
Always.
Like if everything else is in tune and the momentum's in the right way and you're like, we got one and metrically it shows, and then you bring in radio to kind of finish with the gasoline pour, you know? But otherwise, it's like...
Well, it fills in the cracks, but what people don't realize about radio is only 26% of Americans have data plans on their cell phones. If you go outside of the metros... Is
that current?
Yeah.
Oh,
96% of America still listens to radio. But if we are spoiled in the metros because we have full coverage of internet, all of that kind of stuff. But if you go to inner cities, liquor stores, all of that kind of stuff, they aren't spending their money on data plans to listen to YouTube.
Right.
You know, or Spotify or whatever it is.
I was just
and
assuming,
rural areas.
YouTube's free.
Well, but you know, it's not
YouTube's murdering it right now.
World big time.
Oh,
I mean, and they're just starting to pay artists more, which is great.
I saw that.
But what I'm saying is as far as nooks and cranny goes, and as far as coverage, internet, Wi-Fi, all of that kind of stuff, there's no way to get into the nooks and crannies of what incubates our music better than radio. Right. And its superpower is it's free and accessible everywhere. Mm. And like I was saying, in Louisiana, when I was out in the country, if there was a cloud in the sky, we didn't get internet, TV, nothing. We got radio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, a lot of people are still dependent in radio outside of the metros, and people don't realize that.
What is because, you know, there is, like, I was just having this conversation with my boys. They make beats and shit, and they were talking about how crazy and spooky the AI app where you could just type in like a description and it'll crank out a song for you.
Oh yeah.
What's that shit called? Sono? So what is that?
There's one for the video side.
Not the video one. It's the music one.
Suno, right? Suno.
There's a music one.
Yeah. Well, but the
music one is crazy. Like I you know, obviously there's
the
like
50 Cent stuff,
right? But there's like you could just type in like I need a beat that sounds like The Alchemist and Madlib could have produced it, and boom, boom, boom. I need it to be this BPM, and it'll just crank out like 10 options for you.
Yeah.
And they're all good.
It's nuts.
And so it's like, there's gotta, like, we're gonna get to a point where
it's sampling.
It is gonna be like that. And that's what my homies were saying. They're like, yo, eventually you're gonna have to, because you could get stems for the beats. Like, they'll stem out your beats off the AI.
Well, this morning, the news came out that Universal settled their lawsuit with Udio. They finally settled that. But they settled it to create a new platform. Do you see what I'm saying? Which will give Udio access to Universal's catalog.
What is that?
It's one of those sites.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That AI music generation site. But it will, from what I can read between the lines on, it will treat it like sampling. You know, like you can make a song, but it's going to credit what it took it from.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what we've really been trying to get to. I mean, the majors, all of them, Warner, Sony, and Universal, sued Udio, Suno, all of that kind of stuff, because basically they were trolling the YouTube and using that to train their models.
Yeah, because if you like, I was thinking about this. I was like, yo, if someone just created a YouTube channel and made like the quirky, like 50 Cent type songs.
You're thinking like a radio guy. Look at you. You're creating a format.
Just get a crazy YouTube shit crack. Like,
someone already did. I think there's also they're forcing people to get.
Like, think about it. If you're like, all right, today I want fucking NWA straight out of Compton, but I want it to be 1920s.
Yeah. I like the yacht rock. Have you seen the yacht rock guy? How he makes the songs yacht rock?
Shout out to the yacht rock.
Yeah, that, you know.
But it's shit like that. You could do a whole channel. And then it's just, you know, it's interesting to say.
I love it.
Even like, you know who, it's probably already happening, but there's that lo-fi like subgenre of music where it's just instrumentals and like.
Well, one of the things that Harvey said at the seminar was that, and Harvey, part of, he's one half of, with him and Damon Thomas, one of the biggest producing duos ever, Beyonce, all of that shit. He said that in the studio, even with him, there's no instance to where AI isn't being used even a little bit. Whether it be a hook, whether it be a lyric, whether it be a sample, whether it's something that every studio is using AI in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
so it's just going to be interesting to see now how they, you know, if they take it from 100 samples, how do you say it's?
Yeah, like, my thing is like, how are you able to use it as a tool instead of using it or depending on it to where like whatever the soul of the music is like taken out?
Well, and it's never going to have the human.
Give a fuck? Do people give a fuck if it sounds?
I don't think. Look, that's the thing, though. I think both sides don't give a fuck in certain contexts. Like, I mean, a lot of the money is coming from the data and the product sales. Okay, that's how the record companies are really making the money these days. So, if they can have something catchy that lasts 30 seconds, that's all the content they need to get you to the next spot. You know what I mean? So remember in Back to the Future when I think it was Back to the Future where they're playing the commercials as the records.
Yeah.
You know, and that was the nostalgia of it. I think if you applied that to current times and said, okay, well, if I can make a quick, you know, thing out of this and keep them there long enough to do it. But I also think that the platforms are going to eat themselves. I mean, people's attention span, there's with vinyl coming back and CDs coming back and all of the stuff. I think you're right. Like I said, it's a calm before the storm, before the resurgence of lo-fi. And that means going back to human created shit. And underground movement.
It's going to be like trendy. Like,
an underground movement, the indie movement. And I think that's where it's going is, you know, remember like the backpack phase, you know, and like the Far Side and all of that.
Raucous
I think
records.
that vibe, loud records.
Mass Appeal, Nas's label's doing the crazy, they've put out some ill shit this year. They got this like, what is it? Like something Legends. So they put out a Mobb Deep album. They got a Big L album coming out tonight.
Wow.
Ghostface Killer, Raekwon. So they've been like doing like these dope, like they're doing a DJ Premier Nas collab album in December. So shout out to Mass Appeal. Nas and the guy
that.
Peter over there got it figured out.
Nas is killing it right now, doing stuff on the billionaire side.
You know what's so
too.
funny is like back when there was like the beef.
Yeah, I was like,
Everyone always would be like, yeah, but Jay's got more money. And I'm like look, Jay-Z probably to this day still has more money. Let me be clear. But it is interesting that like Nas was just like quietly investing.
Yeah.
He invested in the Ring cameras. Like Nas got a casino coming.
I mean, not just a casino, like it's a like $2 billion project.
Crazy.
And he's investing in the hip hop museum at the same time, which is really, really cool. Nas has always been great. I love Nas.
What has since you've been able to come back onto the scene in terms of like
Interesting year, by the way.
for you?
Yeah. From where we sat last year to now, it's been
A lot
has happened.
I mean, you do a lot of consulting stuff, right? Yeah. You almost bought a radio station, I heard.
Almost. But and I'm going to London to talk about the second book.
So you're going to do another book?
I'm going to do another book.
Is it going to be autobiographical or is it going to be more like information?
It's going to be a little bit of both. It's about the return and because when we sat last time where I was sitting, people were telling me you'll never make yourself relevant in this space. You know what I mean? Like in social media and that kind of stuff. You're an old radio guy. That time has passed. Right. So in the synergy marketing of it and, using Instagram instead of a radio signal and doing minute and 30 radio breaks, there's something to the consistency and repetition breeds familiarity. Familiarity breeds a relationship. Relationship breeds teamwork and or synergy, and synergy wins games formula.
Well, you've pretty much like applied your theory to your own content and it's
working.
A lot of people, I feel like I get a lot of, like, I feel like I'll see headlines and stuff, but then I'll see you talk about it and I'll be like, oh, okay, I get it now. Like,
well, it's funny because, look, I'm not always right. I'm not always trying, whatever. It's more like I'm a radio DJ at the end of the day.
Right.
And we're only right, I mean, come on, like a broken clock twice a day.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I just get on there, say whatever it is. And a lot of it, like even with the breaking news thing and stuff like that, I mean, friends would hit me up and say breaking news. And I just thought it was funny. So I just kept going. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's working, but it's more fun than anything to me.
Are you, because you have done a really good job of covering political stuff?
That's just frustration.
But for you, I think I remember when you had first started to kind of, really kind of be consistent with that, seeing some of the comments where people are like, yo, man, stick to the music shit.
Oh, yeah. You know what? One of the things that you said to me that really inspired me is I made this, I was talking about the red and blue thing. Yeah. I was talking about how Republicans, Democrats, Bloods, and Crips, and you called me on it. And you were like, yo, that was really cool. I got that. And I was like, fuck, maybe I'm onto something. And it actually made me really think about that. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah, I just think like at the end of the day, man, we're in a situation where the divisiveness is at an all-time high. And, the tribalism is a spooky thing to be wrapped up in. And like, it's so crazy right now that like, I get it if you're like, if you are on that side, fuck you. I get it. It's bad what's happening. But at the same time, it's like, I just feel like, we're very much being pulled apart at the threads of humanity. And it's all, to me, it's purposely contrived identity shit. So they want us to hate each other because of where you were born or what your religion might be or who you're fucking and sucking, who the fucking, who your parents, whatever it is. They want to do that while
they're getting away with the bag.
They're taking all of the money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's
a class thing. Yes.
It's a classic thing of, the government for a long time with the CIA was doing this. I forgot the name of the project that was the propaganda project, where they would literally pit us against each other just to get things passed. You know what I mean?
It is a very, very, it's a smart thing to do.
They're just exploiting our differences to get away with a bag.
100%.
I agree.
They're making, because most people agree on about 80% of everything. You want your fucking neighborhood safe. You want to be able to feed your kids. All that shit we all can agree on. It's the 20% that they turn up.
Well, and a lot of it's manufactured. I mean, if you stop and think about it, there's only what was it? It's 1% of America is immigrants.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Illegal.
Right.
You know what it is? It's like 11 million or something really dumb. It's really not that big a deal. Immigration is really not that big a deal.
I even think about how, and I think the Democrats were stupid for leaning into this, but it was a huge talking point in the election, the trans thing, where it's like, okay, yes, I feel like people who have, in my opinion, common sense, and to me, this is not a transphobic take. If you were born a male, you should not compete athletically against genetic females. Now, how many times has that actually happened? And how many people does that affect? But then it becomes this huge talking point. And it low key, like they leaned into it. So they had the commercials running. And then if you're the left, you're like, yo, guys, what do we like they leaned into that shit in a way that you're like, yo, like, this is not what we want to hear about. We want to hear about free healthcare. We want to hear about how the fuck like groceries can go. Like, why is like, and then the right's like, they got their red meat because they could turn this shit up. And it's like, in retrospect, if you're somebody who voted for Trump because you felt like, man, some of that shit on the left just got a little too weird for me.
Yeah.
Now you got to kind of look and say like, okay, the stuff that you thought might have got a little too weird for you, like, does that actually affect your life?
Well, a lot of
or
it,
anyone who you know's life, the chances that it does is slim to none, as opposed to all of the crazy shit that's going on as we speak. Like, I know a lot of Latino dudes who voted for Trump because they're like super conservative. I don't want dudes going in girls' bathrooms. And I'm like, bruh. But now, like, your family might be getting torn apart, or someone you know might be getting, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, at what point in time are you like, you know what? This is a purposely contrived issue that has been, you know, turned up on purpose.
well,
and
you got to look at what are they trying to distract you from.
yes.
Look at like school shootings, for instance.
right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Look at the demographic of school shootings, you know, and then look at like how many there are, you know, and then look at how many are created or how many incidents there were with immigrants in school shootings. None. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, look, that base loves to point the finger at things and say, you're doing exactly what they're doing.
And they're also supposed to be, like, to me, you know, I was thinking about like, I held my tongue when Charlie Kirk died because I was like, I don't have anything to add to this conversation that won't get people mad at me or, you know.
I wish I would have said the same thing.
But what my thought process was, I obviously don't think he deserved to die, you know.
No.
Well, my thought process was just from seeing the outpour of people who I know, you know, posting about some guy they don't know and how like
Going after people's jobs and shit.
well, not even that, just like, you know, the humanity and this is where society is. It's, you know, and then getting in their Christian bag with this guy and I'm like, yo, I haven't seen you post anything about what's going on in Gaza.
Yeah.
To me, the selective humanity and, the selective Christianity of a lot of these
the Christianity thing is what's really getting me.
Because it's not, you guys aren't even real Christians.
Well, and
you probably have never even read the fucking Bible.
Yeah. I mean, look at Ted Cruz up there talking about Israel, if you support Israel, and quoting wrong Bible verses and stuff like that.
God.
I mean, and just the Bible thumping period. It's like, if you know anything or have a relationship, I went to Christian school. So if you know anything about God, I mean, look at a lot of these churches with the Bentleys and all of this kind of shit. Jesus would walk up in that motherfucker, melt all of this down, and say, give it all to the poor.
Look at the Pope. The Pope is like, yo, you guys, like, the Pope is putting pressure on American cardinals to pressure the American government to relax on how they're treating people. That if it like, and again, let's be clear. I am not a religious man. I do not subscribe to any religion. I would damn near say I'm atheist, but I've done enough mushrooms to think there might be something out there. With that being said,
Yeah.
I do know the Vatican, the Catholic Church, they're fucked. They've done some crazy shit themselves. Covered up a lot. Anyway, what I'm saying is, you have all these people who are supposed to be Christian, who are supposed to be, people of God, but
Grindr goes out every time they get together.
even that aside, which is funny, by the way. But just the fact that, like, you're selective on when you're Christian.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is it's hypocritical. I mean, even with my biggest problem with the administration is the level of bullshit.
It's so
it's
so
like
crazy.
Gas is down to $2.
He just will say shit.
Yeah,
and you're like,
it's
wait,
like,
what?
bro, like,
What?
what gas station is that? I'm trying to go to that grocery store.
The Portland shit is so funny.
And and like we were talking about that Portland's on fire. There's no, what did he say? There's no cars or there's no something. I was sitting there going like, what the fuck?
And by the way, it's a block because my boy Phil Becker lives out there. And he's like, I think they're showing him footage of when it was on fire. He's like, let's be clear. During the George Floyd shit, it was on fire. But right now, it's fine.
But I mean, think of the history. They show us the moon landing. They show us 9/11. They show us JFK. They show us MLK. They show all of this shit, then say, okay, we faked all this shit. And then they're like, you know what? We don't even need the big spectacle anymore. We'll just lie to your face in real time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's no reason to do the big shit.
Do you ever feel like just disheartened by what's like there was a time last week or the week before where I hit my group chat with my guy James and my producer because we always send political stuff and I'm just like, guys, I just want to go lay down in a corner. It's getting icky. It's fucked right now. Like,
I mean, when I saw the president get off of Air Force One and start dancing to YMCA in South Korea, I was like, the symbol of integrity, the golden eagle, the bald eagle, the United States image is now the village people.
Right.
That was disheartening to me.
Yeah.
And to hear what some of the people around, I'm disappointed in America because the America that I grew up in was, Top Gun Maverick.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like we're
supposed to be the good guys.
Yeah, we're the good guys.
Right.
Like we're the ones that would
but
fly
hey, you know
in
what? Maybe
and save Gaza.
Maybe
you know what I mean?
But hey, you know what? Maybe we have, and that's the other thing. I think there is an awakening where I think a lot of people are realizing like maybe we haven't been the good guys. And then you start going back and looking at all the regime change wars and how many civilians got killed in Iraq, and you're like,
well, and look at the MLK stuff. Look at the JFK stuff.
The CIA killed.
I think the government wasn't. I think the people are inherently good.
No, I agree.
Look.
But that's what I mean. I mean, in terms of like our position in the world, you're like,
I'll tell you this. In Louisiana, I got along with everybody until we started talking about politics. Like, that's the trigger. It's these ideals of, it's like gang pop. That's why I said the red and the blue. It's either you're a Crip or you're a Blood. You're a Republican or a Democrat, and there's nothing in the middle when it comes to that.
But what if
I'm going to write from my hood?
What if you're Kendrick Lamar and you're just a good kid in a mad city?
Well, but that's what I mean. We all are. We are the kid in a mad city until you start gangbanging.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying is, there is no such thing as color. Your lungs are the same as everybody else. Your brain's the same as everybody else. It doesn't matter.
And this is my whole point is like,
biomechanical suit and electricity.
There was a funny meme that came out, and it was like, Bill Clinton is in the Epstein files. Oh no, what am I gonna do with my Bill Clinton bumper sticker and flag and red hat and all this shit? And it's like, because I am very much like, I think Joe Biden was fucking horrible. Like, I did not think he did a good job. I think.
But wait, let me ask you a question. You a question with that. See, that's perception and reality. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, he did not do a good job, but the economy was great.
For sure. I mean in terms of like, I just can't.
He was just on autopilot.
I just can't in good faith fuck with somebody who like greenlit the ethnic cleansing of a people.
Well, that's true.
So for me, that was kind of like,
but that's more the system did that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but
not just, yes, he had to be the final rubber stamp. But what I'm saying is
my point is this. I feel like I used to be someone who was super captured by, I was like a Blood or a Crip, where I would just be like, I would even say all the way up until like 2020, but I do think that there was so much stuff where you were just like, hey, can't we just call out politicians when they fuck up, no matter what side they're on?
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you seriously. Do you think it's all a show?
Kind of.
I mean, because it's the same lighting people, it's the same script people, it's the same systems and same propaganda, same narrative, same everything, but it's almost like it's a bad movie script. Do you know what I'm saying? Like the way that they do it and all of this.
I think it is all a show because I do think, especially when it comes to like the big tech bros who would have donated just as much money had Kamala would have won, etc. Whether it's NVIDIA, whether it's Peter Thiel, whatever. But I do think when the actors are really, really bad actors, it can get weird. And to me, that is the danger of having Stephen Miller in the White House or having...
But do you think that those people are actually calling the shots?
I think in this case, listen, dude, I
think that what you're talking about with the takeover, with the people across the pond,
yeah,
I think that's what's in charge.
To me, that it doesn't matter. The lighting's
I think everybody else is.
You're right about that. I don't think it does. It literally doesn't matter at that point because I do think that they definitely they're paying the bills. They're keeping the lights.
Well, and you have to remember when JFK was shot, what did they tell every president after? A friend of mine was a fundraiser for Obama, and he said to Obama at one point, like, why didn't you do any of the things that you said they could do? And they said, on my first day in office, they said, just keep in mind what we can do to you. Remember Kennedy. Do you know what I mean? Like, stay in line.
So that's my thing is I think when it comes to the big picture geopolitical shit,
yeah,
yes, no matter who would have won, the
but
same shit's
even
gonna
think
happen.
about this. Antarctica.
Lebanon's still getting bombed.
Think about Antarctica. The one thing that we can all agree on is stay out of Antarctica. Like every country. We can't agree on food.
For everybody.
For everybody, but we can agree to stay the fuck out of Antarctica. Everybody knows something that the party doesn't.
Oh, yeah. What's going on up there?
But that's what I mean. What else is there? If we're talking about gravity manipulation and all of this technology, that's not just a one country thing. UFOs, aliens, all of that stuff, they have as many in Russia as they did in America.
Let me tell you something funny. And this is not even funny. It's a true story.
We're going to get UFO stories?
All my mom's side of the family's from Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
Massachusetts, Maryland. Her aunt... Her husband's name was Doc. He was one of the first 50 employees at NASA and retired at NASA, whatever. My mom, I think it was probably 98, 99, went out there to visit them. And they all went to dinner and she asked him about aliens, if they're real or not. And he was like, well, I can't answer that question. He's like, but what I can tell you is that if people knew it was in the ocean, there's a good amount of society that want to kill themselves.
Okay, Grandpa was employee number 25 in the CIA.
Oh, shit.
And he said it's not up, it's down.
I want to give a shout out to our family at Roken, man. Roken, listen, I love these vapes. Roken Cannabis, make sure you go shoot them a follow. I was in Austin, Texas, and I was off the Roken in Texas, even though I'm not sure legally I was supposed to be off the Roken in Texas. But look, you got to go follow them right now. Go to rokencannabis.com. Shoot them a follow on social media. You'll see it down below. They got the solventless rosin, pure. It will melt you in a good way, by the way. All right? So make sure you go shoot them a follow, man. And we only rock with the premium, the best. And when I tell you, Roken is the best, they've been doing this for so long. And, man, the rosin... The solventless rosin, man, it hits. All right. So they got the disposables, they got the carts. let's just open one of these up just so y'all can see. These carts are beautiful. All right, we got it open. He fast forwarded. All right, so this is the cart, and then obviously you got your disposable right here. Both of these incredible. Follow them and check them out. RokenCannabis.com.
Now, and here's the other thing about that. When I was in Louisiana, we were out by Barksdale Air Force Base, right? Out of Shreveport. And one night I was sitting there on the porch with the caretaker, so I wasn't high, whatever, and somebody else saw it. And we see this thing coming down. It looks like a helicopter that's just kind of bouncing, but only had 2 lights and nothing flashing. And it was going so slow that I ran in the house. I turned off the light. I looked for my phone, couldn't find it, came out. And just as I was coming out, it slowly flew right over the house. Now, this was the size of one of those tanker ships that you see in the Mediterranean. Had 2 lights on the back, 1 on the front, and flew, and you could see right through it. And in my head, it said, yep, this is the Philadelphia experiment. I'm like, this is gravity manipulation. Yep, this is gravity manipulation. And it flew literally so slow, I kept thinking, this is going to fall out of the sky. It's going so slow, it's going to fall out of the sky. And it just went right over the trees and then took off.
Yeah, it's interesting, too, that while the world is in chaos, they slip the little
3-eye Atlas thing going on.
They'll slip the little, UFOs are real.
Yeah.
But it's there's so much other shit people are worried about.
Well, for the last 100 years, they've been doing that. I mean, but everything but that's why I say, is it all a show? Because if you go back to Star Trek, when we would be sitting there looking on our iPhones today, we were looking at that in Star Trek going, that'll never happen.
I think everything entertainment-wise from these major...
The movie division of the CIA is Hollywood.
It all just psychologically prepares us for the inevitable.
Yeah. I think that's it.
Did you watch the Netflix movie that the Obamas produced?
No.
So essentially, it's about what were to happen if a foreign country took all of our internet off of the grid and perpetrated a propaganda campaign to make everyone think there was a civil war when there wasn't, and how America would destroy each other from within because they don't have the information.
Now, is that prophecy or
no?
Is
this
no, but think about it. What's happening right now?
I was like, this is gonna happen
It's happening.
Imagine if we woke up one day and there was no internet, no TV.
Yeah,
you'd be like, what the fuck? What the fuck's been going on with these fucking balloons and these fucking things hanging over Jersey?
Have you noticed that with the chemtrails? We still don't know
what the fuck was going on with Jersey. They still have not told us what the fucking things.
Or Miami.
Bro.
Remember when all the cops showed up in Miami and they said the 8-foot tall things were walking around? Stranger Things style?
Did you see, I don't know if you caught maybe 2 years ago, there was a UFO thing in Vegas in the backyard of a Mexican family's house?
That one, and there was one above the strip club. Not that I saw that one.
Yeah. There's a good strip club in Tampa called Space Odyssey.
Have you ever been to Magic City?
It's called
shout out Jermaine. Great album, by the way, brother.
They got in Tampa, there is a strip club, and the VIP is a flying saucer.
There's some aliens walking in there?
No, it's a flying saucer. It's called Odyssey 2001. It's on Dale Mabry Road.
And the number is?
My boy's the manager. Good spot. 18 and up, though. You got to sneak your liquor in there. I've never done that when I lived there.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
But yeah, no, I do think...
The UFO thing, I know is real.
I agree.
But I agree with you. I think it's coming out of the ocean. I think that the...
What do you think is in Antarctica, though?
I think it's attached. I think whatever is happening through the ocean is deep enough to go through. I think, see, this is where I'm starting to think of the flat earth thing. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to think that this all is some sort of alien ant farm or some shit. Like this is the whole thing about the earth being round and the horizon thing. I was with a pilot one time and I was asking him, we were flying on a private jet. And I was like, so is the earth flat or something? And he was like, looked at me like, bro, he goes, let me just show you something about the horizon here. He goes, if it was round, we would be doing this, this kind of shit. And I was just like, the pilot telling me this, I think that a lot of it is interconnected. They spent the $2 trillion on tunnels and shit like that. I think there's a lot more going on underground than we're... Well, I just don't know if it's a sphere, if space... I mean, look at what they've fed us about space. I mean, the Van Allen belt and trying to get through that in a tin can to the moon.
Even the
and even this Atlas thing.
What's Atlas thing?
You haven't seen the 3-eye Atlas shit?
Mm-mm.
Well, apparently there's a spaceship or a comet.
Oh, that's coming.
That is around the sun right now. Japan released government shutdown, so NASA shut down. So we aren't seeing anything from our side of the world. But Japan released a video of this thing, and it sure as hell don't look like a comet. And I mean, look at the Boogosphere, or whatever the hell that was.
Did you see this painting that came out that was over 900 years old, and it's got a UFO in it?
But rewind for just 1 second. Yeah. The Boogosphere. Did you see that?
What is the Boogosphere? No.
Okay, there's this ball that they found in, like, it was Brazil or South America. It was flying around. It was like a football in the sky kind of thing, and it hit an electrical line and then fell. Now that they've researched it, it's 12,500 years old. But the markings and stuff they put in the Google quantum computer, and it's like the star map to space and, like, all of the physics and all of this stuff in one thing. And if you were going to put a message in a bottle and send it to somebody and say, here's all the answers, it was all on this fucking sphere.
Oh, shit.
Do you know what I mean? But
Boogosphere, how do you spell that?
Boogosphere. I think Boogosphere or something.
Okay. Oh,
but look it up. It's interesting.
They just found did you see the new planet they just found? That's just all water?
No. They
just found a new planet. It's just the ocean.
But look what they say about space and the ISS, and they be turning off the feeds, and you see the cords, and it seems all staged.
I think it's a problem when NASA isn't as capable as Elon Musk.
But that's the thing, too. That trips me out, too. We can agree on Antarctica, and every country can agree on putting a Starlink satellite over their freaking country.
Right.
That's the two things that we can all agree on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Shit, yeah.
But so it's like, what is it really? We are dumb monkeys at the end of the day. We're whatever we're told.
It's illegal to go to Antarctica, right? Like, yeah. If you just wanted to go.
Well, okay. So many years ago, there was I think it was like John Glenn. It was one of the space guys that went there and literally had a heart attack and said, like, what I saw, like, is freaking crazy. And when he got back, they had a United Nations meeting, and everybody in the United Nations in every country agreed that, one, we're putting a base there, and two, everybody's got to stay out of there. So whatever's going on in Antarctica, how would you cover it? You'd make it cold as fuck, and you'd have an international treaty that's the one place you can't go. So while we're sitting here bitching about nuclear weapons and fighting over race and Bloods and Crips shit, what's really going on?
Do you think there's a chance that there's lizard people or alien folks?
I think there's interdimensional beings, and they could probably take on any form.
Because I feel like if there were to be some alien fools.
But I did see your eyes do this instead of like this. I think you're an alien.
I mean, duh. Who'd be your first bet?
Oh, Elon.
Elon, yeah. Or Peter Thiel.
Oh, Peter Thiel is, both. Elon and Peter Thiel, there's something else going on there.
Something's going on.
I mean, Peter Thiel did this Armageddon thing, and
did you see all the Antichrist shit?
Yeah,
held like 4 private Antichrist conversations. But
look at it like this: if you were an alien and you were going to introduce yourself to the Earth or start down that path, what would you do?
You would try to kind of position yourself as,
ChatGPT.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd start with a ChatGPT so that you could have that's the handshake, and I think it's going to evolve into disclosure. That's what I think is really happening. But I think there's probably a bunch of different species. But you have to remember, if we believe what we're told, the universe is millions and millions and millions of years old. If we're the only things in this vast thing that's millions of years old and the most intelligent.
We still haven't figured out what's going on in the Bermuda Triangle, man. Fucking planes disappearing.
I think that's just crazy win, but...
What happened? What about that one plane they could never find from Malaysia? Malaysia Airlines.
Oh, that thing. You didn't see the video of that?
No.
It was the little Boogospheres things that were swirling around it, and it just disappeared. They have a satellite video of that.
That's crazy.
Nutty stuff, man.
Insane. What do you think do you think Diddy's getting pardoned by Trump?
I think it'll happen. I think that'll happen when they need something to divert attention.
Yes.
But I think they're going to do it with Ghislaine too.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I think that this administration is so corrupt that if you spent $1 million to $5 million on a certain crypto, you could get any legislation done.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like,
I mean, think about some of the things
I saw
that have
how
happened.
much money Barron Trump's made, and I'm like,
But did you see how?
it was through crypto, right?
Like he was in his dad's office listening to them about crashing something,
And he just
and he
fucking
listened and
leveraged.
let him do it, then bought a bunch of shit and it shot back up.
Yeah, and
He was under investigation.
We're worried
for
about Hunter Biden
crypto
smoking
manipulation.
crack. Give me the crack smoking Hunter every time.
Well, and it's crazy that they keep going after the cartels and stuff. I mean, they're knocking down all of Donnie's suppliers.
That's funny. Yeah, Donnie Jr.
Yeah, Donnie Jr. Did you see that one where he was at a speech and he reaches in his pocket and starts doing
I don't
this
doubt
and
it.
shit?
Hey, yo, between him and Hunter Biden, that'd be a nice night in Vegas.
You know what trips me out about Donnie though is he's a hunter, right? He'd always talk about hunting and
All that,
big game
that
and all
weird
this
big game
stuff,
shit,
and
yeah.
believes that a 30-06 shot Charlie Kirk.
I wanted to ask you about that. 'Cause, well, you had a Charlie Kirk video that went pretty viral. What do you what are the inconsistencies and what do you think happened?
I don't know what really happened. I know that trap door and a bunch of the other stuff just doesn't make sense. Them cementing over it and not taping it off. But I think that when the assassination attempt on President Trump turned the sentiment for him.
100%. A lot of people decided when they try to kill him.
But I also
we're going to vote for him.
But I thought the timing was a little bit weird about how right when the bullet went off, the Secret Service moved photographers directly in the line of sight of the president, which normally if there was an attack on the president, you'd move everybody out of the distance of the president, not into firing line of the president, and drop the flag behind him as it was happening.
So do you think
I think it was staged.
The people behind him were just sacrificed?
The
guys who are there, because there's
if they were real.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like we hear, like for instance, there was 3,000 people at the Charlie Kirk assassination, but we see no interviews of it.
Right.
You don't see people talking about it. I mean, look at that wound. Look at, the shirt thing. Look at the fact that they didn't tape it off or treat it like a crime scene. Look that they did a gag order on the 3,000 people that were there. There's no autopsy. There's no burial. We don't know where he's buried. The wife acts really strange. And the wife was 17 in Ukraine around trafficking.
She definitely does not behave like somebody who just
knew Trump at 17, knew Epstein, knew Maxwell, knew Victoria's Secret, knew all of these things, and a trafficking thing came out of that.
Yeah, the Victoria's Secret bro is a creep. What's his name?
Okay, so those guys got off.
That's the guy who gave Epstein all his money.
But you didn't hear about that one?
Lex Wesner?
Yeah, well, Wexner has always been untouchable. Yeah. But the Victoria's Secret and the Abercrombie and Finch thing, you didn't see that?
How the dudes were doing all kind of gay shit with the little boys?
Yeah. They said he has dementia.
Crazy.
So he didn't even stand trial.
But they're tied with Lex Wesner.
Yeah, didn't even stand trial. And that was part of the Diddy case.
That shit is crazy.
They gave Epstein a year, but Diddy's still in jail on a prostitution charge?
That's wild.
When have you ever heard somebody who did not touch the prostitute and they don't have the money in his hand transferring to the prostitute, go to prison for 4 years for prostitution?
Yeah. I think what it was it's almost like how the stock market is all sentiment. I think the public sentiment for all of the Diddy stuff, the Cassie video being out, I think the judge wanted to make a point.
But look at the timing of that. 2 weeks before the trial or before the raid on his house, they released that videotape. The videotape is the center point of the case. Cassie, which the tape, if he was on a DV case, you would hear me say, lock him up.
Right.
But
because it wasn't a DV, it was not a domestic violence trial.
Nothing to do with that.
Correct.
Now take the tape out of it. Cassie would have caught worse charges than Diddy did. She was handing the money. She was directing. The witnesses said she was the one directing. When Diddy was passed out on ketamine in the corner, she'd still be going. Now, if you're somebody that's there against your own will, you're not telling, hey, when he falls asleep, pipe me again. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that.
Right.
So, I mean,
Vlad, I forget what Vlad tweeted, but he did have a good point about like, where's the Cassie accountability?
she did immunity to testify in the case.
Right. And then she got him.
And and here's 2 bags. She got 20 from the hotel and got another 25 from him. But here's the crazy thing. You notice that Diddy didn't put on one witness?
That is interesting.
Not one witness. And he didn't go after any one of it. He's still paying the fucking rent for the one for 50 Cent, baby mama.
Jesus.
And she was sitting there testifying. That's cuckish, isn't it?
Very. Very. Yeah, I think he's gonna get out there.
Yeah, I think, dude, there's no, I mean, they said that they'll release him in a year because he's got time served.
I think you're right. I think you're right, though. It's gonna happen right when they need the news cycle to swing. Yeah. It's gonna be like,
well, or they'll do Jelaine and Diddy at the same time.
You're gonna do Jelaine first, and then like Diddy, the next morning, Diddy will drop, and no one's gonna be talking about Jelaine Maxwell.
And Jelaine, I mean, you have to remember, I mean, she got busted for participating.
Right.
And just the fact that they're even discussing that is just insane to me. Because, I mean, the fact that she got moved.
Right.
The fact that Trump's former personal attorney is the one that met with her and then she got moved. That's
very interesting.
It's all very interesting.
We are very much living in like...
It's a movie, a badly scripted to-be movie.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Like, okay, so take yourself out of right now. Just let me ask you a question. Take yourself out of right now. If you saw Donald Trump as the president 5 years ago, 10 years ago, when like Obama was in the White House, and this movie on Tubi of today,
I would.
I
probably wouldn't watch it, and I'd probably be like,
never happened.
It's like Well, there's a movie, that Idiocracy movie that came out with Luke Wilson in like 2005.
What was the movie with Nate Dogg singing in it? Rest in peace. When he was like singing it with Chris Rock, where Chris Rock was the president.
Oh fuck! Head of State. Yes. Yeah, that's kind of. It is interesting.
This is Soul Plane. We're watching Soul Plane, White House edition.
By the way, what for you? I want to get back to the Charlie Kirk thing real quick.
Yeah.
If you had to, who would want him killed and why?
I don't think, if you really honestly want to know my opinion, I think he's alive. I think he was on that jet that disappeared 30 minutes after. I think he went into that trap door. They took a mannequin or fake something or a body double or something and took him somewhere else. There's no autopsy. There's no ballistics report. There's no body. That body that she was crying over was obviously fake. I mean, it looked, did you see that thing?
No.
She was crying over his body and his body was laying in the casket. His hands were plastic. It wasn't even the same color as a dead person. You know what I mean?
If that's true, though, that means that I
think it's a show.
He had to have been, this whole thing, his whole entire trajectory and insertion into the political sphere, pop culture was all manufactured.
Well, I mean, look at it like this. Yeah. Think about, who paid the first $150 million to get the college campuses on their side?
Israel.
Okay. So then he did it. The second that he started saying something different. And then what is the prophecy? The prophecy is that Israel has to have the whole world mad at them so that they can build the next temple and usher in the Antichrist.
Jesus Christ.
Isn't that the prophecy?
I don't know. You would know more than me.
But that's...
Is that in their Bible?
Yeah, that's in the... They have to make the whole world mad at them, start World War III, start Armageddon to usher in the Antichrist. So I think that's... I mean, and look at it like this. 6 months, a year ago, if you so much as said, I don't like you, to somebody that was Jewish, you would be called an anti-Semite.
I think still. I mean, we
talked
about the Cenk Uygur thing. There was this Stephen Miller's bitch-ass wife.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, I do appreciate the fact that now at least, because they kept trying to put words in Cenk Uygur's mouth, because they were essentially saying, you're talking about the Jews, and he's like, I said
I don't like you.
No, he said, who said the Jews? I said Israel. That's not, that's a government. Like, is Israel a Jewish state? Yeah, but Saudi Arabia is a Muslim state. If I say if I talk about Saudi Arabia, I'm not shitting on all the Muslims. Apparently, the United States is a Christian state, which I don't think it is, but whatever it is, I mean, a lot of these white fucks in the government would like you to believe that. JD Vance, even though he's married to an Indian woman and she is Hindu. With that being said, if someone says something about America, doesn't mean that they're shitting on all Christians, right?
Well, dig it in 9/11 in Iraq.
Yeah, that shit. I mean, look, I just think it's interesting that nobody is like the Greater Israel Project is just going forward no matter what. And I think the public sentiment is getting to the point where I think that Bibi Netanyahu and his cronies that are in the Israeli government understand it's only going to get worse from here. Yeah. So if they're going to go for it, they kind of have to just unapologetically all fucking sails forward, go for it now, or it's never going to happen. Because the jig is up, kind of.
Did you see Kushner and what's his name in the interview where they said this has been a 2-year plan?
Of course, yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just.
But that's what I mean. It seems all staged.
Yeah, I mean, if you really,
just not, it doesn't make
listen,
sense.
If you really like get high one night and you just start thinking about everything, you're just like, fuck.
Well, as much as Bam smokes, I get a contact high, and that was basically the whole way here. So
you're not a smoker?
Not as much. Ever since Nate Dogg died, it just hasn't been the same.
Here and there. Yeah. What is that? Because I feel like you were getting in the studio a lot for a sec.
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
We listened to some stuff here. You know it.
Because it felt like you were working on a project.
We are.
You put a song out.
Well, we started working on stuff, and then we got together at Record One, which is the Pharmacy Dre studio, and Quick, Battle Cat, Focus, Timbaland, Rockwilder, and myself, Day One, Coteezy, Blacktoven, Twista. I mean, just all kinds of people put some songs together. And recently I went out to go check out Strange Music. Tech Nine.
Oh, you went to KC?
Yeah, I went there. It was fucking amazing.
I'm supposed to go soon.
Dude, do it. I mean, Travis great guy. And hospitality, A+.
Hey, I A&R 2 gold records for them up there. My brother Ritz. Shout out to Ritz.
Absolutely amazing place. And I went out there with Brian Shafton from Compound
Shout out
Interest.
to Shafton, good guy.
And Justin. It was absolutely amazing seeing all of that. But I wanted to look at the distribution side too while a couple of things got finished. And we just finished the Twista Tech Nine record with Timbaland and Swift. And
Timbaland's AI artist isn't on it?
No. This is old Timbaland too on the beat.
Oh, nice.
So
this is a record that's going to be a Damizza Presents record.
Yes.
Are you going to do distro through Shafton?
We're looking
the Virgin thing.
But we're gonna. I can't say yet, but we're talking with Strange about doing it.
Well, because they're distros
all together.
over there.
Same kind of thing, and create a new kind of thing.
Me and Brian had talked about doing a distro company, and fuck, man. I don't want to take a percentage of someone's music unless I truly feel like I'm offering them a real service outside of uploading their music. If that makes sense.
Well, and part of the delay is I still don't feel that there is a way to promote music properly.
Yeah, because it's like, what is the infrastructure outside of being like, hey, yeah, I can pitch your music and make sure it's on all the platforms, but you could do that on your own. So it's like,
and then, with the new social media stuff with me and the momentum that it's gaining, I'm like, I keep pushing it back because I go, look, we're getting 1,000 new followers a day. We're going viral with all these clips. Why would I do it right now? Let's wait. Let's keep building this audience and then do it.
What is your plan? Because I know you did Damizza's Table for 2 or 3 episodes.
I did a couple. For the
G.
podcast thing, I did Warren. I did one with Crazy that's still in the can from Bone Thugs. And I did
what is, I guess,
and Hale.
Well, that was I was going to ask you is like
Seat at the Table.
Seat at the Table. My bad. But what is because I do feel like the podcast thing can be a great avenue for you, but I also think like, yeah, what is, I guess, what's going on with your brain?
I talked to a couple of people. I mean, I even talked to Amazon about doing it with their Twitch and, all of that kind of stuff. And there's some, it's some interesting stuff on the table, but I just haven't heard the right thing yet.
Because for one, it's like you kind of do a podcast in your own way every day. Right?
And it's really the clips and the pod numbers are all going down.
And if you did a long
And there's so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you did a long form podcast, you just got to know, you just got to be like, hey man, we're doing this once a week, no matter what.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, hey, we're gonna throw something out and see how it does, and then
Well, and the other thing is the one person I was talking to wanted to do a podcast where I'm kind of the answer to Nick Fuentes, and go that hard, but the other way,
right?
And I was just like, but that's not. I'm so in the center with so much stuff.
That's true.
That I just don't. I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah, and you don't want to. I mean,
I don't want to be something I'm not.
Yeah, and also like I think the Hassan Piker dude's kind of in that space a bit, but I just think like I wouldn't want to be anybody who people look at as somebody who's left or right. I would want, like, I really want to interview Gavin Newsom so bad.
You should,
because I know I'm trying, because I can like give him props and then just melt him.
Yeah, but he deserves to be melted on a lot of shit.
Yes,
I mean, especially the fire shit. But it's
the fire. I mean, just some of like, I mean, the COVID shit, the fire shit, the shit that he did with the
charities.
I mean, he is the most power hungry person.
Well, he wants to run for president.
I mean, but it has been. He is the most unorganic, purposeful. I'm going for this power grab.
Did you see when they asked him about AIPAC?
That's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah, I like how he said it's
interesting. I couldn't get off that.
You know why? Because that same week, it got announced that there's going to be like an anti-Semitic officer at every school or some shit. And there's a company that backed that called JPAC. And in that clip, you hear him say it. He says, I deal with JPAC. I don't know anything about AIPAC. JPAC, I know a little bit more about. And I'm like, oh.
No, but he wants to run for president.
Yes. And this is something that is, to me, very true. You will not win the Democratic primary if you're owned by AIPAC. And you will not win the Democratic primary if you're not talking that talk, that fucking Bernie free healthcare shit. Because there's no reason why we send however many $1 billion a fucking year to Israel, and these motherfuckers get free healthcare, and people here are dying every fucking day because our shit
that's
is
not all they get. They get college, they get healthcare, and if a mother gets pregnant, the baby and the mother gets a check till they're 18.
Hey, we got to wrap up this interview. Another one presented by Hardeen, baby. You already know what it is. Shout out to Hardeen for presenting another episode of the Bootleg podcast. Don't forget, when you're in Vegas, you get in that taxi, you get in that Uber, say, take me to Hardeen, the #1 cannabis dispensary in the world. Premium selection of the craziest gas you could ever ask for. And then they break down what all the terps mean. It's incredible. Go to Hardeen_Las Vegas, shoot them a follow. And when you're in Las Vegas, make sure you shoot them a visit. Hey, don't forget to go to bootlegkev.com. You know, we had to celebrate the 2-year anniversary of the most viral interview of all time. Throw the shirt up so you could see it. I turned it down. Shout out to that boy, Big Boogie, a big college in Jacksonville. And we just threw these on sale. Half off for the 500 episode tee. Bootlegkev.com. Go get you a shirt. Let's get back to the interview.
I mean, but that's why I say the
and
whole
then
immigration
Gavin Newsom
thing.
Fucking vetoed the fucking reparations shit. I'm like, this fucking guy.
But you got to look at it like this too. When we sit here and we talk about immigration, and we talk about Native Americans.
Right.
Like all they want to do is just go back to this colonial bullshit.
We're all immigrants.
We're all immigrants.
Yeah.
Like come on, bro. I mean, look, okay, the funniest thing is to watch JD Vance and Donald Trump talk about immigration
and
standing next to both of their wives. Melania, who came in illegally and got paid.
There's this fucking clip from yesterday. This dipshit, JD Vance he did some turning point shit yesterday where he was taking questions from the audience, but then he did an interview and he was like, people shouldn't have to live next door to a neighbor with 4 families that don't speak their language. And then I'm like, your fucking wife, her family is Indian. He said,
and they're probably staying with you.
He said something like, we don't have the same values. You know, like, and I'm like, bro, you're Christian, your wife and her family are Hindu. How do you not have the heart, the soul, the spine to stand up for your family What are we doing?
with permanent eyeliner and dressed up as a woman
JD
in
Vance
college.
is a bitch, yo. Like, that dude has zero spine.
But that's Peter Thiel's guy.
I mean, bankrolled his whole political career.
But okay, so look at the subplot that's happening right now. You got Trump, who's obviously in late stage heart failure, maybe Alzheimer's and all of this, who's heir to the throne.
Jesus Christ.
And Peter Thiel and Elon Musk and all of that told Trump, you take this kid.
Yeah, I think they forced his hand for sure. Because I think a lot of people, I think a lot of people were hopeful that it would have been Tulsi or RFK. Tulsi, and you want to talk about someone who's disappointed me immensely? Is Tulsi fucking Gabbard.
God.
What a
You know, they all have. But I mean, look, if you want to know how easily someone could be bought.
None of these people have actual beliefs they believe
Well,
in.
I mean, but look at what every single one of them said about Trump, from Lindsey Graham on down.
Tulsi Gabbard is a fucking spineless bitch. Respectfully, I had a lot of hope. I was like, hey, at least he's got Tulsi. You know, like,
Yeah.
these like, okay. No.
Did you see Kash Patel shut down the Charlie Kirk investigation to see if there was foreign actors in yesterday? Tulsi Gabbard and him got into it. Apparently there was a screaming match in the White House between him and her. She wanted to investigate foreign actors being involved in the Charlie Kirk assassination.
And he shut it down.
And he shut it down.
Speaking of someone who has zero spine,
I hear Bongino's going to quit any day now. He hasn't been seen, and
I would have respected. I'd give him some respect if he said, "I can't watch this shit."
but look at his face every time he's interviewed now. He's like, "Bro, this is not what I signed up for."
You know what it is too, man? Is like, you know, with the Kash Patel thing, it almost feels like, you know, we talked about how like Charlie Kirk might have been like purposely pushed into
Valhalla, baby.
space. The Kash Patel thing. You had this guy going on like a random podcast tour for like 2 or 3 years. He had his own show. He was super like drain the swamp, release the Epstein files. The base gets riled
and then
up
you
when
see
he
him
becomes
in
and then
Congress
he's oh my, you want to talk about embarrassing?
covering for the hood.
Oh my god,
I could not believe that. Like Kash Patel at the very
how does
beginning,
he sleep at night?
with a gun to his head,
He just used
with his IDF girlfriend.
they just said he used the FBI private jet on a date with his IDF girlfriend. How much does that cost the fucking tax? That's my thing. These motherfuckers. Christy Nome.
2 new jets.
2 new jets. But
So you can
can't
fly in
pay-
and raid a Home Depot.
But you can't fucking pay federal workers.
SNAP is going to run out. You're going to send $40 billion to fucking Argentina, who just took all of our soy crops, and give them some of the cattle business, or take the cattle business from our cattle ranchers. But look at what's happening. They're bankrupting middle America and
America first.
BlackRock's coming in and buying it.
Yes, I think that the whole play is what you just said. We're going to fuck our farmers out of their land.
But we're doing it to everybody.
So
If you are Donald
in
Trump,
5 years, Amazon or someone random is going to be running our fucking crops. Because,
okay, so you are Donald Trump.
yeah.
You are a real estate guy. What is the most valuable thing that you could sell?
Farmland, right?
America.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Who
So
wants
that's
in?
all he's doing it.
Yeah.
And it's literally happening before our eyes.
Yeah, it's like, let's starve our own farmers out who supported us.
I mean, it's systematic. Look
and then
at
they're
it.
going to default on their loans. And then all of the big
But the
homies-
corporations, what I was saying at the beginning of this is the corporations got to a certain level. There was nothing else to sustain growth and next quarter's profit. So what do you do?
What do you think is the next, I won't call it necessarily a false flag, but the next contrived thing, big thing that's
Well,
going to happen?
they're going to enact martial law before the midterms somehow. And I think that's probably what happened with the SNAP thing is they're going to make everybody starve. They'll revolt. Then they'll call in the National Guard, say it's rioting or whatever the fuck it is, call it martial law, suspend the elections, and then we'll have the Civil War.
Do you
I
think
think
that's
that'll-
going to happen
If the
before
aliens
midterms?
don't come before it,
Do you think before midterms?
there's no way we're going into the midterm elections.
Well, I mean,
Because if look at it like this, if the midterm elections happen, we've already seen a revolt of the Republican Party. It's going to go blue. And
no matter what.
No matter what, the House and the Senate would flip
But
blue. right now.
they're meddling. They got JD Vance on a tour meeting with like the Indiana governor,
Whatever.
trying to do all these redistricting. And then the conservative bruh bought Dominion.
Yeah, but
who
they're
owns half
matching
the-
it in California and they're matching it in some other places.
No, but the voting machines are now conservatively owned.
yeah.
They're it's now called Liberty Voting.
Did you see the court case in Florida and the one in, I think it was North Carolina about that?
I did not.
120% of the market voted. Like they're saying that, I mean, the last election was fixed. But what I'm saying is
How
look,
did Elon know that he won before he did?
Trump said in one of his speeches, Elon knows them computers, right? All of a sudden we won all the swing states. But I mean, just think about it though. If they end up executing this plan or not executing this plan with the redistricting and all of that, and we go into the midterms, the House and the Senate flips, the first thing that they're going to do is impeach Trump.
100%.
So
and try him.
so
He needs to go to prison.
So there's no way in hell those midterms are going to happen.
I hope we get to the point because I feel like
Insurrection.
we're at the split where we're at the beginning of like how our world gets to like a Mad Max movie
Exactly.
or like what's the Hunger Games type shit, or
Terminator.
or it goes the other way and we got our own version of the trials that happened in Nazi Germany with some of these ICE fucks and Stephen Miller's on trial and hopefully the world holds Benjamin Netanyahu to the fire, which will not happen.
I think that they're going to do the insurrection. There's either going to be a civil war or the aliens will show up, and I think we'll start a nuclear war. The aliens will come in and say, "Okay, look."
Yeah, because he said he wants to test nuclear weapons now. Like, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
We blow up another. Well, that's when the aliens first showed up. Remember with Roswell
True.
back in the 60s or the 40s, whatever it was. The first nuclear bomb that went off is when they started showing up and going, "What are you doing? You're fucking with the dimensions."
Interesting. So what's next for you? What's next for you, Damizza?
Continue doing shit like this. No, just
conspiracy corner with Damien Young.
Yeah, no, just do it. Yeah, I'm very in the moment type of guy. You know what I mean? So whatever happens in the moment, we'll see what happens. But I'm listening to a lot of the deals and gonna write the book and see what happens over the holidays and take whatever it is after the holiday.
Yeah. Do you have any? Are you still excited about the music industry?
Not right now.
No.
Because I mean, look, there's all these old guards that are still guarding their checks. Do you know what I mean? There's nothing new. They're not letting anybody do anything new. You know what I mean? And until they open the doors and let people do something different than what's being done, and the music can be promoted the way that it needs to be promoted, we're stuck. You know what I mean? If it's, for instance, if YouTube could act as a radio station, great. If a radio station could be a podcast format and break records, then great. You know, I mean, but
if you had a magic wand, magic toolbox, how do you?
Which I do.
How do you fix? How do you fix radio?
You make it more of a platform. I mean, for instance, I might as well. But if you reverse the iHeart model, for instance, why are you broadcasting 4,000 radio stations onto a platform? Why wouldn't you reverse that? You cut all the overhead at the radio stations, no PDs, MDs, GMs, anything like that, and put the format across the whole country.
That's what you would do.
That's what I would do.
BBC.
Basically.
I think they're doing that a little bit. It's
sort of, but not like, for instance, what we did with Power Hot and 32 stations in the middle.
Oh, MS, yeah.
Yeah. Promotions, everything, all done through the same thing.
I think iHeart is doing, I think they're doing a pretty good job of getting to that point while still trying to keep as much of the local talent that still matters intact.
I think with a lot of the AI, you're going to start seeing that. Because like, for instance, you could have Big Boy in Los Angeles be broadcasting in India, and he could be in the local dialect by the time he gets there.
Yeah, I think like if you think about like shit, like I'm in 108 cities every night, or throughout not every, so I about 80 every night, and then the rest are on the weekends. But it's
But if you could have AI in every market that could do independent market research and drop records in and out time stretch. It'd be pretty badass, though, right?
Well, that would be dope if you could. If you could create,
we have the technology.
Well, I think that's the thing when it comes to programming. If somehow you can do real time research through cars, through whatever it is, to know what the And then
Sort of like a PPM, but for music.
yeah, but then AI is live programming it, kind of.
It's
That's
possible.
probably coming.
It is coming. I have
Because
seen it.
why have a local music director if you can have artificial intelligence really kind of hone in on what people want to hear? And the other thing is this too, is like, do you feel like there could
Simulcast, not syndicate. But go ahead.
could there be a situation in which, depending on whose car you get in, the radio sounds different?
Yes, and there's also 3D sound.
What's that?
I don't know. It was great talking to you.
Yeah, I do think you're right though. I do think I think obviously iHeart's like the Yankees, so they're
I think it. Look, it's coming.
it's a
time thing.
At the end of the day, this is a business and it is a revenue model, and I think you got to you have to bring worth to the table to survive any industry.
And there has to be a hybrid. I think that the way that the world is going to go is Drink Champs with a mix show.
Yeah,
I think that's what it
probably.
needs to be, but locally relevant.
I mean, that's kind of the Breakfast Club, right?
Yeah, but no.
Right, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like they're interesting.
I love the Breakfast Club, but they're, I used to say when I was a program director, complacency is your number one enemy. And that the Breakfast Club is just very complacent.
You think so?
Yeah, to me. They're relevant in their topical stuff, but they're not really, they don't break records.
I don't think breaking records is a thing anymore.
Exactly. But I think that's also what's affecting the music business. Is
Yeah,
profiling
I think you said it
music.
earlier, like the DJ shit. Yeah, dude, it's almost
We're
like
not making stars, but then the music industry
I've
does not.
seen the records. Like, let me give you an example. There are records that radio will break today, and it does not translate to streaming numbers.
I agree
So
completely.
if you are an artist who has a budget and somehow you end up top 20 at X format radio, I've seen it where you're like, oh, this record doesn't have like a real audience outside of the radio. Like,
Do you know what's an interesting thing though? Is they told me that in '97 about rap. Period.
but I think back then you could break an artist at radio. You don't think so?
Not you could break an artist, but not rap.
No, but you could break an artist.
No, I'm saying at the beginning of it when rap
'Cause that's how we
started,
discovered music. Oh, you're talking about early.
early rap.
Yeah.
It was all rock radio. You could not sales. You couldn't do it.
But I feel like when I was coming up, like radio mattered in a way where you would discover music on the radio.
Oh fuck yeah!
Nowadays, it's like if I hear something on the radio, it doesn't mean I like it. Even like a song could be heavily Shazammed in a certain market where it's getting played, and the conversion rate to streaming apps isn't there. Again,
But you're also looking at the platform of radio as its incarnation now.
right?
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, when we were doing radio, it was the platform as well as it was radio. Do you see what I'm saying? Because we had Power, Hot, and the 32 stations. If we ran Up in Smoke across the whole thing, we could sell out a tour. When before that, they said rap can't tour.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I think that's
it's how it's positioned.
right. And
to
I
the
think,
audience.
Well, I even think too, like, and like even with that, like nowadays, the radio show is kind of dying. The radio
Totally.
concert.
Totally.
Like there used to be all these cool concerts all over the country that happened yearly, but then the festival kind of came in.
Look at Lollapalooza this year.
I didn't even see Lollapalooza's lineup, but I know like
Justin Bieber, Sabrina Carpenter.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But I even think like WLOD in Tampa, which I do nights at, we had Wild Splash.
Was that a plug?
Huh?
Was that a plug?
I guess, shout out to fucking Tampa. It's like
Love it.
I wouldn't say it's my second home. It's like my third home, fourth home.
You got a lot of homes lately, buddy. Congratulations.
I lived there for a few years. But we had Wild Splash going on for 20 years. And
Wow.
they didn't do Wild Splash the last 2 years because there's so many festivals in Florida that have non-competes and these proximity clauses. And then the festivals are paying artists so much above what they're asking for. Why would they do a fucking radio show and take like what they're asking for a little less?
I miss the powerhouses. The coolest thing about powerhouses and our stuff is you just never knew what you were going to get. When like we had Biggie come out in the middle of the freaking thing.
Right.
You had Snoop Dogg come out or Dre come out.
Yeah, like we did
We love that.
in 2019, we did Real Street Fest in Anaheim. It was 2 days, and it was a full-fledged festival, like iHeart and Real 92.3's version of Rolling Loud, essentially.
Dope.
And it was super successful. It was insane.
I saw Big X.
COVID happens.
Oh shit.
And then it was a one and done because they were supposed to. They had a lockdown for 2020. And what were you saying about Big X?
I was gonna say I saw part of the iHeart festival thing.
Big X killed it
in Vegas.
Yeah,
I saw some of the clips and stuff. It's just fucking amazing. You know, I have to say this, Big Boy. I love Big Boy.
Greatest guy.
To see the reception of people, even seeing him from the stage in the crowd, or we'll go somewhere together or something. Or else
Big
we'll
Boy
be
is
together
he is like one of the most recognizable dudes you could ever like. And then,
hardest working guy I've ever seen in my life.
He's everywhere. He will stay up late. He'll go to the things. Walking around Vegas with him is so fun because you're just like, it's like inspiring. You're like, dang, one day I want to be like Big Boy. This fool can't walk 5 feet.
Yeah.
And he's still the most humble, nicest, fucking solid dude. Like me and Big will have some dope conversations on the side that,
I love him.
He's the best. He does, and like, is always trying to evolve. Just started his new YouTube. I know you were on his show, right?
We did me, Glasses, and Fuzzy.
Shout out to Fuzzy, man.
Yeah, Fuzzy's a connector, man.
The connector. Anyway, well, I appreciate you.
Thank you for having me for the second time.
Go follow Damizza online. And
listen to Bootleg Kev in a market near you.
And then you have this, you said that you're going to be doing a record with Tech Nine and who?
We got the first single will be Timbaland produced it, Swift, Tech Nine, and Twista. But then we also got records with Quick, Battle Cat, G Style, Gritty.
Damizza Presents project or just drop singles?
It's Day One and I did it together.
Okay.
And it's called Synergy between the two of us. And it's fucking amazing.
Dope. Maybe
and I might finally get Quick and Warren to do an album, which would be fucking awesome. Yeah. Imagine, so Quick and Warren are two of, my best friends. Do you know what I mean? So all the time I'm trying to get them to do that.
I'd like to be in the studio with them and watch them make beats together.
Oh, God. Quick is the one. Warren is absolutely amazing, not only as a producer, but just as a friend.
Oh, for sure.
But Quick is the fucking mad scientist.
He is, yeah.
And I'm in awe every time. I learned something new. In this last time when he came by, I was like, look, I need help with mixing this record. And he goes, fuck you, Damizza, you're going to do this yourself. I'll sit here on your shoulder. But he
mixed it?
Well, he directed it. Do you know what I'm saying? But he made me do it. You know what I mean? He's like, use your ears, use your ears. Great piece of advice, by the way, he gave me. When in doubt, Damizza, use your ears.
Use your ears. It should be the last line of defense, right?
Oh, dude. But I thank both of them, just like I thank Big Boy and all of them. I've learned so much from having them as mentors.
Yeah, shout out to DJ Quick. I think there was somebody that said something recently about he is who people think Dr. Dre is.
Yeah.
And
dude, I said something about him on the TFU podcast. Did 250,000 views.
He's the man.
Everybody loves Quick.
DJ Quick there's just nothing he can't do.
Well, he did the drums on Up in the Club.
Right.
He did My Dad's Gone Crazy. He's done, he did that R. Kelly record.
Justify
he did
My Thug on
yeah,
Jay-Z.
And the Ludacris record. What was that Ludacris record he did? On Disturbing the Peace, I think it was. I forgot that. He's done a lot of shit.
Shout out to Quick, man.
Let's
Shout
get
out to
down, get down. Okay, sorry.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for pulling up.
Thank you for having me.
Boom. Fire.